Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled birds scattered throughout the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening to you, I say shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Khadashia from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the Spirit. And I found this video on Instagram, and it's basically a video with this rabbi, and his name is Solomon Friedman, and basically he is the new owner of CornHub, okay? And this really goes to show that these people that are over there in the land of Israel, who are telling the world that they are the chosen people and that them returning back to the land of Israel fulfills biblical prophecy, and basically, their identity is a fulfillment of prophecy. Them, coming back to the land and, ultimately, just being in this position of power, it really just goes to show that they're not the people of the book. And not only that, but their own rabbis, their own so-called teachers of the law are in positions of power, and they're buying up industries such as Pornhub. You see? So this really goes to show that these people are not the people of the Lord, man. All right? The first scripture I want to get is Job 9 and 24. It says right here, Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the whole earth is being ran by the wicked. The Most High God, Yahweh, that rules in the kingdom of men, in these last days, he has given the earth into the hand of the wicked. So the things that are being promoted on earth, the things that are being put in front of your face to see, is all gross darkness. And that's because the wicked are in rulership right now as we speak, who are the biblical Edomites, who are the self-proclaimed white people. You see? The self-proclaimed white people are the biblical Edomites. They are known as the wicked, and the earth has been given into their hands. You see? And within the community of white people, there is a little subgroup who thinks they're the chosen people. You see? They call themselves Israelis, and really they're Edomites. They're Edomites as well. They're of the tribe of Amalek. Okay, they're Amalekites. They are Edomites as well. And see, these people being at the top, being the first of the nations, as the scriptures prophesied, it tells you in Numbers 24 and 20 that Amalek would be the first of the nations. And you could clearly see that, man. Not only has the earth been given into the hands of the wicked, these Edomites, but the head of the wicked, Amalek, the head of the house of Esau, which is Amalek, they're the first of the nations. And since they're the first of the nations and they control basically every industry out there, whether it be the media, whether it be the medical industry, whether it be the military, whether it be the Congress, whether it be the media outlets, whether it be the banking industry, whether it be Pornhub, whatever it is, man. These people are at the forefront of everything. And because they're at the forefront of everything, all the things that are being promoted on earth right now is nothing but gross darkness. It says Psalms 82 and 5, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And the reason why the foundations of the earth are out of course is because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. The wicked right now are ruling, okay? And not only that, but the wicked have also taken control of the Holy Land. It tells right here in Ezekiel 36, and let's get straight to the point. Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. It says, Ezekiel 36 and 5, thus saith, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which Idumea is just another way of saying Edom. All right. It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So we just read about 3 scriptures. Okay. We read that the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. We also read right now that Esau, Edom, who is the wicked, have appointed the Holy Land, the land of Israel, into their possession. You see that? And not only that, but we have also read in Psalms 82 and 5 that the foundations of the earth are out of course. Everything has been flipped upside down, and that's because of what? The wicked. All right? Not only are they ruling the whole earth with their democracy and their style of rulership, all right, but they're also over the Holy Land. And they have hijacked the identity of the Israelites. Now they are telling the whole world that they themselves are the chosen people. And now you have people like Solomon Friedman, who is a rabbi, by the way, who is promoting and buying up CornHub. So let's go ahead and play this because this is ridiculous, man. All right. Where in the Bible does it say that rabbis are going to be buying up CornHub and using the revenue to support the nation of Israel? Where does it say that in the Bible? Why is the CEO of OnlyFans using the money and the revenue that he is gaining from OnlyFans to send that money as financial support for the state of Israel? Where in the Bible does it say that they were going to be using pornography and prostitution and all these weird things, all these weird categories that are promoted on Pornhub, right? Where does it say in the Bible that they're going to be using lewdness and, nudity and all this weird shit to ultimately catapult themselves into power? Where does it say in the Bible that they're going to be using these revenue streams to be, supporting the nation? Where does it say it? Nowhere in the Bible does it say it, man. The fact that these people are buying up industries like Pornhub, it proves that they're not the people of the Lord, man. And especially a so-called rabbi. Matter of fact, right? Let's look up the word rabbi in the Bible. Let's look up what it means. All right, because what is a rabbi, right? The word rabbi, it comes from, it says in the Greek, it means rabbi, a title used by the Jews to address their teachers and also honor them when not addressing them. My great one, my honorable sir. So it's a term of endearment, it's a term of respect, a term of calling somebody a teacher. And the reason why they were being called a rabbi or a teacher is because they were ultimately teachers of the law, okay? They were supposed to be teaching the law, all right? And when you go in the law, the things that are being promoted on Pornhub are condemned in the law, in the Torah. You see, they're condemned in the Torah. So let's go ahead and play this real quick.
Out of all the businesses you guys could buy, why did you guys target buying Pornhub?
Yeah, so we saw an extraordinary opportunity. The fact that it's newsworthy or noteworthy that we've made the acquisition, that should tell you that this is a space that has not had mainstream investment, right? That it's a space. I always said, when we looked at the business, it's a business that's legal. Not only is it legal, but in every Western democracy, it's constitutionally protected. It could not be outlawed, even if you wanted to, but it doesn't have that legitimacy. And one of the reasons for that, and as we started to examine the business further, was that nobody wanted to say we are the owners of a major adult company, right? Everyone, they wanted the benefits of owning a major adult company. It's a profitable business, but nobody wanted to be out front and engaging with other tech businesses, with government, with law enforcement, with regulation in that sort of way that the modern tech industry has to. So we saw in that this arbitrage opportunity, right? Where if people who come from, the mainstream professional networks, whether it's law enforcement, tech, finance, etc., this is an opportunity to really bring this industry into the 21st century. We saw an extraordinary opportunity to do that with this, this jewel of an asset, Pornhub, but obviously with the entire company.
I love it. You said jewel of an asset. So I'm going to give you some stats here that we see. So one, it says 2018, Pornhub alone witnessed a jaw-dropping 5.8 billion hours of content consumption, which, by the way, is kind of strange because most men should only be watching for a minute or two, right? But this is like when you hear 5.8 billion
no,
hours.
Patrick, our average visit is about 10 and a half minutes.
They probably got off the computer and they left the website on, but there's a different story there. So that's nearly 665 centuries of material over.
So they're ultimately making money off of this overconsumption of porn. Okay, because people all over America, especially men, all right, and women too, okay? I've met some pretty weird women out there that have told me they watch porn, all right? It's a weird fucking, people watch some weird shit out there, man, okay? But, in all 50 states, this whole porn thing has really messed up the relationship between men and women. So now, when a man gets that feeling or a woman gets that feeling or whatever it may be, right? Most people don't actually want to deal with somebody, man. Most people actually just end up watching a video, going on that website, all right, and doing what they do, and they just leave it at that, man. But a rabbi, a person who's supposed to be teaching the law of the Bible, the very people that are claiming to be the chosen people and that have the Torah and that teach the Torah and that are supposed to divide clean from unclean and so on and so forth, these people are now in charge of that revenue. They are now in control of the company and of that whole industry, man. All right?
Single platform in just 1 year. Here's another one for you. The world was flocking to Pornhub in 2018 with a whopping 63,992 new visitors per minute. Is that true? 63,992 new visitors per month.
Doesn't sound unreasonable.
33.5 billion visitors. Insane, right? Mm-hmm. And the most popular day to visit Pornhub is Sunday. You guys got all these different stats. And you even put up a stat recently on which state consumed the least while the election was going on and who was committed to it. So you're also involved in the election stuff that's going on, right? But at the same time, you got a petition. I think something came out that says more than 2.2. Thank you so much, Kelly. More than 2.2 million people have signed an online petition to shut down the site. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that the topic of pornography has always been a divisive one. I think it has to do with the topic of sexuality in general, right? There are always going to be different views about human sexuality, and pornography is just emblematic.
And really, when you get to the root of it, the reason why there's so many different views about sexuality is because of Amalek. When you go into many of the movements that happened during the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, all that fight for LGBTQ rights, that fight for feminism, that fight for equality, and so on and so forth, at the forefront of every single one of those sexuality fights is Amalek. Amalek is always at the forefront of fighting for gay rights. Amalek is always at the forefront of fighting for all this weird shit going on in America, man. You see? And now fast forward to 2025, these people are now, openly buying up industries such as porn. Now, I went ahead and I asked ChatGPT what type of sex is considered a sin in the Bible. Show me verses in Leviticus. All right? And the first thing that it mentions is incest, sex with close relatives. And it mentions Leviticus 18 and 6. It says, none of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. All right. And then it goes into specifics. You can't have sex with your mother or your stepmother or your sister or your half sister or whatever. All right, your granddaughter, your aunt. All right, it goes into all of these things, right? You can't have sex during a woman's period. You can't commit adultery. You can't commit, those ABCX, all right, the LGBTX. All right, you can't commit bestiality. And those are things that Pornhub actually promotes, man. All right, it says summary of what Pornhub themes the Bible condemns. Pornhub commonly promotes stepmom and stepson, which is forbidden. That's a sin. All right. But see, a rabbi, a so-called teacher of the Torah, has actually bought Pornhub, man. Okay. And not only that, but not only have they bought it, but they're also categorizing people and seeing how many new viewers they have, who's watching what, at what time, during the election, they had the most viewers and shit like that. So they're actively actually getting off on people watching this stuff, man. Because one thing about Esau, Edom, the wicked, they get off on knowing people being in sin. All right. They get off on knowing that people are watching perverted shit. All right. They get off on that. They get off on the fact that you're going off, that you are in sin, that you're naked. That because when you're naked, that basically means that you're in sin. And these Amalekites, the wicked, the ones that are ruling the earth, the ones that have turned everything upside down, the ones that have ultimately made everything, the foundations of the earth be out of course, they get off on watching you do lewd behavior. They get off on watching you commit sin. All right? This is the accuser of our brethren. Why do you think they're categorizing and watching people watch this stuff, man? It says right here in Habakkuk 2 and verse 15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that's what Esau Edom has done. All right. He has made the earth drunken with his philosophies, with his ideologies, with his way of thought. And now that way of thought has polluted the whole earth, where now people are actively watching these type of things on Pornhub and they think it's normal, man. All right. And on the flip side to that, you got Esau, Edom, who are the wicked, who are getting off on watching you and looking at your nakedness. These wicked individuals, they make you drunk with their philosophies, with their ideologies and the things that they're promoting unto you. Because even though they're so-called rabbis and they're so-called following the Talmud and the Torah and they feign themselves to be these holy people, really, they're the main ones that are promoting feminism. They're the main ones that are promoting all these weird ideologies, the LGBTQism and all this weird shit, man. All right? It's Amalek. Amalek, as much as you want to set yourself up as these chosen holy people that only do good, you are at the forefront of every industry that is corrupting the earth and the minds of the people. And not only that, but you get off on it. Okay, you get off on looking at other people's nakedness. You get off at the fact of knowing that the earth is perverted right now, man. That it's flipped upside down. That they've made darkness into light and light into darkness, man. Like the scriptures say. That's what these Edomites have done, man. And now, everything that these people promote right here in Babylon the Great is nothing but weird shit, man. Okay? When you go into, let's see real quick, Revelation 18:3, it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." And this is talking about Babylon the Great, which is America. All right? But who's running America? Even though, as much as you Americans like to think that America is a sovereign country and that it's running itself, 90% of your Congress has been taken over by these people. 90% of Congress is ran by Amalek. All right? Every major industry that is in America is ran by Amalek. Whether it be the medical industry, whether it be the media outlets, whether it be the police, whatever it is, Amalek is at the forefront of it. So even though Babylon the Great, all these nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and they're getting drunk with the philosophies that this place promotes, in behind the scenes of all of that, Amalek is the root of it, man. Amalek. They're the ones that are promoting the wine. They're the ones that are pushing the fight for LGBT and all this weird shit, man. They're the ones that promote this weird shit. Okay? And when you go into that definition for fornication, look at the Greek definition for it, man. It's the Greek word porneia, which is what? Illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals. All right? Sexual intercourse with close relatives, sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman, and metaphorically, the worship of idols. Because guess what? Another form of fornication, of spiritual adultery, happens when you worship other gods, when you worship other idols. And that's what America promotes, man. America promotes nothing but idolatry and perverted behaviors, man. They promote nothing but adultery, fornication, lesbianism, all right? They promote all this weird stuff, man. And people are drunk with these ideologies. They're drunk with the wine of the wrath of her fornication. They believe in these things, man. They trust and they feel as, they've almost been desensitized. They've been desensitized to the fact that these things are off. And that's because of the wicked who's ruling the earth. The wicked has ultimately desensitized the minds of the people to know that the things that they're viewing on these websites is really wrong. All right? All these things that you're watching on there, that they're promoting, that is, is really Amalek. Amalek is promoting these things, man. And not only that, but they're getting off on knowing that you're watching it, man. They're getting off at the fact that you're in nakedness, that you are in sin. You see? Because, hey, look, man, these people, what they're promoting on that website is nothing but sin. All right? It says right here, CornHub commonly promotes stepmom, stepson, all right, or stepdaughter fantasies, or sister and stepsister, which is forbidden, MILF categories involving relatives, adultery categories, gay categories, and bestiality fantasies. Pornhub pushes what Leviticus calls abominations, uncleanness, and sexual perversion. And that's what America promotes on a high level, man. And that's why people come to America. That's why all these other nations, in order for them to have America and the backing of America, in order for them to sleep in the bed with America and get in bed with Babylon the Great, they have to be drunk with the wine of the wrath of her fornication, man. They got to commit fornication with her. All right. That's how these other nations have gotten rich with America. All right. And that's also to add on to that whole situation that's going on with Jeffrey Epstein, that whole Epstein list. All right. That guy, he was an Amalekite. And when you watch that video of all the pictures and the different people that he was taking pictures with in his mansion, this guy knew different leaders of different countries, man. And they were all going to his actual his house in New York. All right. And most of the things that these people were doing was nothing but weird sexual activities, man. All right. And not only that, but those weird sexual activities were being recorded by Amalek so that what? They could blackmail their politicians, Congress, or whoever they have in their pocket to do their bidding. Because guess what, man? These Amalekites, they do high level manipulation, high level psyops. All right. These Amalekites are on a whole nother level when it comes to witchcraft, when it comes to, them doing their psyops and, creating a paradigm shift in the minds of the people. They're good at things like that, man. Fucking Amalek is good at things like that. And that's why now recently, they've been losing the narrative, man. All right. They've been losing the narrative and that whole view that people had on them at one point in time. America is now flipping on these devils, man. Even though America, at the behind the scenes of everything that's going on in America, you got Amalek behind the scenes of it all. Most Americans, the lowly poor man, and I'm talking about regular Joe Blow Edomites, all right? The Edomites that work at Burger King, the Edomites that have a regular job at Ross and fucking, places like Marshall's and work at McDonald's. I'm talking about them type of Edomites. Those type of Edomites are starting to wake up at the influence that Amalek has on their country, man. You see? So this is all really what was happening right here, man, with Amalek. The relationship between the American Edomite and the relationship between the Amalekite Edomite is growing really sour, man. All right. And is only resulting in more division because this video was actually posted by an Edomite. This video was posted by an Edomite, and then look at the person that actually posted it on Twitter. It says Daniel Hakikwiju, and it's a freaking Edomite guy, man. Look at that. A Edomite guy posted this video of a rabbi, and he's basically putting it up to condemn these people. So as you can see right now, these regular Joe Blow Edomites are starting to speak up against Amalek. And it's because ultimately Amalek no longer has control of the narrative, man. They're losing the fight. They're losing the fight when it comes to the narrative. And that's why, they're doing things like this, man. All right. They're trying to train 100,000 Christians to be representatives for the state of Israel. And that's because right now the whole world is ultimately getting tired of these people, man. And they no longer believe their narrative and the things that they try to promote. They no longer believe the propaganda about Israel. They no longer believe that whole Judeo-Christianity bullshit that they try to throw at your face. They no longer care about Ben Shapiro and his talking points. They don't care about none of the thing that Amalek has to say. All right? Yeah, on one hand, you got these so-called Christians being rallied up to go and fight for the state of Israel and to change the people's minds concerning Israel. But then on the other flip side, you got
Out of all the business.
You got Edomites posting videos of rabbis being asked about why they own PornHub. You see that? So right now, The fight against Amalek is increasing, man. Not only from the Hebrew Israelites, but from their own people, man. Other Edomites are starting to speak against these people, man. All right, look at this other video. I want to play this as well because this was another video that was posted by an Edomite.
I don't get involved in their opinions on political issues. That's not my role. But one thing.
This is a rabbi at the United States Congress addressing the United States Congress with Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, with a little yarmulke on top of his head. Look at that, man. And these are the type of videos that Edomites are now posting on social media. They're posting videos like this, talking about imagine still voting after this for either side. They both are owned. Okay? They're posting videos like that, exposing that Congress is owned by them.
How compromised are our politicians? This is unbelievable. Watch this.
Look at that. They're posting videos with their face talking about how U.S. politicians are compromised.
A military armed guard, bulletproof blacked out SUVs, black coats and tiny hats everywhere. This is in New York City. This is like a supervillain movie. And look who is there. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. That is the most powerful man in Congress, House of Representatives.
Look at that. And he has received $1 million from AI PAC. All right. Look at that, man.
And they made him wear a yarmulke. He's not even Jewish. He's supposed to be Christian. And his voters aren't from New York. They're from Louisiana. He's there to visit Grand Rabbi David Twersky. And how...
So as you can see, Amalek is clearly the first of the nations. Even though a lot of people in America believe that this place is a sovereign country, at the end of the day, your Congress that dictates legislation, that dictates what country they're going to go to war with, that dictates who's going to get this money and who's going to get this support and who's going to get money from our Congress and so on and so forth. That Congress has been compromised by Amalek. Your country is being ran by creepy little rabbis that own CornHub, okay? That's who owns this country, all right? And Edomites all over the country are starting to wake up to that fact. And that's why, you know, from things like videos like this being posted,
how compromised are...
You know, videos like this being posted and videos like this being posted about rabbis owning Pornhub, them owning America and Congress, them owning the Speaker of the House. Now, fast forward to a couple of days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago, you had this video that was posted by CBN News where now they're trying to train up 100,000 Christians to go and represent the state of Israel. And why do you think that is? That's because of the shameful spewing upon their glory, man. It says right here, Habakkuk 2:16, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So right now that all this shameful spewing is going out against Amalek, right now that they're being exposed and their foreskin is being uncovered and they're being ultimately exposed before the whole earth that they are the wicked, that they're not the people of the Bible, that they are imposters, that they don't match none of the prophecies. Right now that vibration is going out on earth at a very high volume, right now that shameful spewing is upon their glory, that's why they have ultimately done this, man.
I'm so thankful to all of you that have been here, but there's somebody that I never get to be with in an event like this, my beloved wife, Carolyn. So I want you to stand, Carolyn. Carolyn is totally selfless. And when I married her, I said, I have to be honest. There's another woman in my life. She said, what? I said, Israel. I love her so much. I have to be with her a lot. She said, honey, I will let you do that. But if she ever calls me on the phone, you are dead. We are going to train 100,000 Christian ambassadors to be ambassadors in their own country for the state of Israel, to defend Israel's brand and to combat anti-Semitism.
You see how hyped up he got over that? Hold on, man. He got hyped up over that, bro. He said, we are going to train. Like, he said that with conviction, man. Look at how Esau, what they're doing right now, man. You got to really think about what's going on right here. Because the whole earth right now is going up against Amalek. That shameful spewing is upon their glory. Everybody is exposing these devils, talking about how they run PornHub, talking about how they run Congress, talking about how they run the media, talking about the genocide that they're doing in the land of Gaza, right? All these different talking points that people all over the world are bringing out, and this is what they're doing. They know that they're running out of time, man.
We are going to train 100,000 Christian ambassadors.
We are going to train 100,000 Christian ambassadors. Esau is dead ass, bro. They're serious about this, man. Amalek knows they're running out of time. Esau Edom knows they're running out of time. What that one thing that lady said? She said that the main problem that Israel has is the young black men in America. And why do you think that is, man? It's because you are the true biblical Israelites. All right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and you Native Americans, and you speckled birds that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelites, you are the main issue that these people are worried about, man. Not the seven front war that they're battling, so-called. All right. It's not the skin cancer that they're facing year by year. It's not the fact that they got to go against Hamas. It's not the fact that, you know, they're going through all these different people exposing them. No, it's the fact that the Hebrew Israelites are coming out with the truth. So now they're raising up 100,000 Christian ambassadors. Because ever since this truth has gone out, the vibration of exposing Amalek, the vibration of exposing Esau, Edom, and what they do on earth, and especially exposing what these rabbis and what these so-called chosen people be doing behind the scenes, that vibration has been turned up to a different notch, especially in the last 5 years, man. Okay? Especially in the last 2 years, from 2023 until 2025, it's been a non-stop exposing on the internet of Amalek. So now fast forward to the end of 2025, these people are now refocusing the fight. You see, they're training 100,000 Christian ambassadors to go fight for Israel's brand. That's what he said. Look.
To be ambassadors in their own country for the state of Israel, to defend Israel's brand and to combat anti-Semitism. Now, the beautiful part about this is we're partnering with Blackboard. Blackboard is the largest platform in the world, serving Harvard, Yale, all the major universities, the vice president.
And what was going on in all the universities across the United States when that whole October 7th situation happened? People all over the country, especially young Edomites in these colleges, they were going on protests. All right. It got to the point where you had Benjamin Netanyahu trying to get the government of America, U.S. Congress, to make up legislation to ultimately deport some of these students. And it got to the point that students were actually getting deported for protesting against the genocide, man. So why do you think that now, fast forward, they're refocusing their fight. Why do you think that is, man? Why do you think they're teaming up with major universities like Harvard, Yale, etc., Brown University, whatever it may be, right? Why do you think they're teaming up with those type of universities, man? That's because right now, all over across America, in those universities, these kids, these college students, they're still protesting against the small hatters, man. All right. So now what are they doing? They gotta diversify their fight. They gotta refocus the fight because the narrative is being lost. All right. All over Instagram, people are exposing the Jews. All right, I'm gonna just say it, bro. They're exposing these fake people for owning Pornhub, for owning Congress, for owning basically every major industry out there. So now they gotta, oh man, we gotta refocus the fight. We gotta get Christians on our side. You see that?
The blackboard is here. It's a $2.3 billion company. Would you stand, please? Would you give them a hand?
So they're getting big money on this, man. A 2.3 million or a 2.3 billion dollar company is also hopping on board and helping with the fight for the state of Israel and their public opinion, because right now the public opinion on these people is horrible. I mean, we literally just the beginning of this lesson is us going into how these people own Pornhub, man. You think the Hebrew Israelites are the only ones talking about these things? Nah, man. At this point, the whole world, people like Redacted, other Edomites, and their own platforms are speaking against these people, man. Okay? The whole world is literally speaking against these people, man.
Using adaptive learning technology. So we'll train these wonderful Christian evangelicals so that they can fulfill what I am doing for the state of Israel. Secondly, we're creating FOSS-I, an online academy to train tens of millions of evangelicals. The power of the evangelical muscle is enormous. It represents almost 1 billion people.
Look at that, man. And you got Benjamin Netanyahu right there taking in this information, and he's probably thinking about it like, damn, 1 billion people, 1 billion Christians fighting for the state of Israel. This guy is creaming in his pants just thinking about this, man. And the funny thing is that these rabbis and these people that are in the land of Israel, they look at you Christians as Esav. All right? They look at you as Edomites. They equate Christianity with Esau, Edom. But now, see, the fight against them and the exposing against them has gotten so bad to the point that they got to get the help of 100,000 Christian Christian evangelicals, man. Even though the things that they teach about Christians is that they're Edomites. You see the mental gymnastics that are going on right here, man?
But no one ever harnessed it. And we're doing that here. We're creating the first evangelical think tank, the first evangelical research institute.
So they're basically creating the first evangelical think tank. And best believe one of the main things that they're going to be coming up against is the truth, man. Coming up against the Hebrew Israelites. Because what are the Hebrew Israelites doing, man? We're the main ones exposing these people as imposters. We're the main ones exposing these people and biblically linking it up to prophecy and calling it what it is, man. We're the ones linking up these people's identity with Esau, Edom in the Bible. We're the ones exposing them that they are the biblical Amalekites and that their future is slavery and ultimately extermination. So regardless of what type of fight and however they want to diversify the fight to try to come up against the so-called anti-Sem, public opinion that's growing on the earth right now is not going to stop prophecy, because prophecy says that shameful spewing would be upon thy glory. So all this exposing that's going on upon these people, whether it be from the Hebrew Israelites, whether it be from a Moabite person, or whether it be from another Edomite, or whether it be from another Ishmaelite, or whoever out there is exposing Amalek. It's prophecy that this would be going on in the last days, man, that the man of sin would be revealed. You see, that he would be getting exposed, that shameful spewing would be upon his glory. All right. So these people know they're running out of time, man. Okay. These people definitely know they're running out of time. And the things that they do, their actions, it clearly proves that they're not the chosen people, man. I mean, come on, bro.
Out of all the business.
You own Pornhub. Come on, bro. And you're called a rabbi. Come on, man. Really? These people are ridiculous, man. You know? Calling yourself a rabbi, a teacher of the Torah, but you're promoting fucking bestiality and incest and all this weird shit on Pornhub, man. This is, these people, man, people are tired of these people, bro. The world is tired of these people. Creation itself is tired of these people. We are tired of these people. And very soon, we're going to see the desperation go on a whole nother level, man, because this is really just desperation. All right? Them, rallying up 100,000 Christians to go and fight for them, that's desperation, man. And it's because people are now starting to talk about them in this type of light. Rabbi Solomon Friedman explains why he purchased the largest pornography company in the world. You got people, Edomites, posting up videos. Left wing and right wing are connected to the same bird, and that bird wears a tiny hat. Hey, bro. Hey, people are waking up to who these devils are, man. And at the forefront of that fight, it's the Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, especially GMS. Okay? Especially Elder Malcolm. All right? You watch an Elder Malcolm video, and it's just going straight into exposing Amalek. All right? And matter of fact, the fact that this video says that the left wing and the right wing are connected to the same bird, the only person that I ever heard say that was Elder Malcolm, man. All right, that's who I heard that from. I heard Elder Malcolm one time, he said it on the line or on the video. He had said that these two wings are on the same bird. All right. So the fact that these people are now posting up videos with these type of captions, it really goes to show that everybody's watching the prophets, man. Everybody's watching the prophets and biting off of our talking points and going on their own podcast and trying to call themselves exposing Amalek. But it all goes back to the vibration of this truth going out, man. This truth is going out, man. All right. And that's why videos like these are being posted. That's why the rabbis are being talked about in this type of light. And that's why now, fast forward, they're diversifying their fight. Okay? They're refocusing their fight because they know that they're losing the narrative, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom and Abba Baba. Wakwam Yasharallah.